right now I'm just going to tell you the realities that I've learned in college and all that good stuff, and just a few short rambles, and just call it a day, because I'm looking back on this time now, and you know, there's a lot of stuff I wish I could have done, or stuff I wish I shouldn't have done, all that other stuff, and you know, I just feel like, hey, let me go ahead and just talk about it. So yeah, today is going to be things I've learned from college. I'm graduating so soon, which is this week coming up, and I wanted to just basically just chat and just tell you guys the stuff I've learned. So if you're not in college yet, or you have been in college yet, you know, you could probably relate, or you're going to relate to this pretty soon. So, you know, let's get started. Yeah, just a quick background. I am graduating from the University of Illinois, and I want to say these have been the best 4 years of my life, and I am really, really sad it's ending. But I know I need to share some of this lovely wisdom that I gained. If I didn't learn anything, I've learned life. So let's get to it. First lesson learned is it's okay if you cry as a freshman. Yeah, being a freshman is honestly one of the most vulnerable times in anyone's life, and I honestly wouldn't trade that year for the world, because honestly that taught me how to be away from my parents. Because you know, when you're like, a lot of people who are freshmen in college, a 4-year university, they are like 18, 19 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old, depending on what age you decide to go. But honestly, that's the time when a lot of us are leaving home for the first time. And I remember when I went away for the first time, and you know, my parents dropped off all my stuff, and I cried like a baby, because that whole weekend, nobody would probably know, but I cried that whole weekend. My parents left, because I was like, I have never been by myself for, you know, a long period of time before. Of course, when I leave my house, I go to like my grandma's house or like my cousin's house, and yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days, parents, or you know, whatever. But when you're gone, like, you're gone. Like, this is not high school. This is not like you are traveling with people that you were in school with since you were like in grade school. No, these are just completely different people. You're in a completely different environment, and you're by yourself. And honestly, it's okay if you cry. That's the first thing. It's okay to cry when you're a freshman, because the first week, oh my gosh, it was insane. It was really insane. I was literally a ball of tears. Like, I couldn't mention my parents' name without tearing up. So that's just something that I wanted to basically share with you guys. Another thing about being a freshman is, once you get over the stage of just, you know, separation anxiety and all the other stuff, you get over that hump, party as much as you can. Don't go too far, okay? Don't drop out of, you know, don't mess yourself up where you drop out of school. But just basically, this is the year of exploration. This is the year of, okay, I'm in a new environment. I'm going to go out and I'm going to see what, you know, this campus and this world has to offer for me. So, you know, there's going to be some things that you're going to encounter as a freshman, and when you go to any college, and I'm going to just tell you right now, there are going to be 3 things that you will encounter in any 4-year university, especially a big 4-year university, and that's going to be finals, sex, and drugs, okay? And that's just all I gotta say about that. And drugs being weed, alcohol, or whatever else these people can get their hands on, and sex being either it's you having sex, or your friends are having sex, or your roommates having sex next to you, something crazy like that. It's just going to be a topic that comes up, but I'll get into that later. And finals. Finals are something that you probably will not be able to avoid. Even art majors, they have finals. Like, who would have thought that, right? So being a freshman, like, you have to understand, like, going to school, going to college, and being in the dorms and stuff, those are just going to be things that you're just going to be encountered with, and it's your decision. That's why you have to have a solid faith foundation in your life. Now, a lot of people who, you know, don't really know themselves too well, they'll get into school and then they'll kind of lose themselves. But I've seen a lot of people who have, you know, made a U-turn and come back and just become a better person. But the things that I've spoke upon, like finals, sex, and drugs, those are the things that will honestly make you, because those situations will lead you towards people who are about their life or not about their life. And, you know, those things will help you make decisions. Say if you're not the one that likes to drink and you don't like to do drugs like weed or anything like that, you're going to find a group of people who don't like that as well. You're going to find people who are just like you in college, and it's going to be a lot better than high school. High school, you were stuck with probably, what, at the most 800 students who are the same grade as you. In some classes, it's even lower than that. In college, it's thousands. This school right here, thousands of people. I have not met everyone on this campus. You will not meet the same person twice unless you're in the same classroom. So you're going to find people that, you know, are going to share your same interests. And, you know, if you're not about the life, you're not about the whole serious partying thing, you're going to find people that are just like you, and that's going to help you understand who you are. And, you know, if you do take part in that, and it's gonna come up. It's definitely gonna come up, especially if you go to a very popular university. That's definitely for sure gonna come up. These three things, I hope I'm holding up 3 fingers. These are the things that are gonna pop up. When it comes down to sex, you have to know yourself. You have to know your environment and everything, because you can be taken advantage of, and that's just a reality. A lot of women, they can get taken advantage of on campuses. Women have been sexually assaulted on campuses. It's a thing. There's so many articles, so many stories about it. It's a reality. So you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to know who you're dealing with, because at the end of the day, you don't know where this person came from. You don't know their background. Yeah, you may have came from, you know, a nice household, or you came from a single parent household, or you basically raised yourself, but you don't know this person, honestly. A lot of people on this campus and other campuses, I know, there's a lot of sex going on, and you don't really know where they're coming from. Sometimes you don't even know their last name, and that's just some of the crazy stuff you're going to encounter. You're going to be like, you did what, girl? Or what? Are you serious? It happens. As far as drugs and alcohol, let me tell you, alcohol, okay, well, I will put myself into this. I'm not going to be so general. I am an alcoholic, and I am okay with that. Not so much to the point where, I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic to the point where I'm dependent on it, but I've never drank until my freshman year of school. And let me tell you, that was the nastiest thing in the world. But if you fast forward 4 years later, I will definitely have a glass of wine by me and don't care, okay? Yeah, so at school there's a lot of underage drinking, and then it's the norm. It's honestly the norm. What you think, oh, you know, you have to be 21 and everything. And unfortunately, it's not how it goes on campus. You have an array of people with an array of ages that are mingling together, that are partying together. And of course, there's going to be alcohol involved, because there's going to be people that are going to be buying it, and there's going to be people who are just going to be drinking it. And let me tell you, that is something that you can definitely avoid if you try. You know, but if you just let things happen, it's going to come in once in a while. Like, you'll have a roommate that likes to drink a little too much. You'll have roommates that might not drink at all, but it's something that comes into play. And that's why you have to know yourself and just have a steady foundation. There's going to be a 95.99999% chance you will not get along with your roommate.